Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today we're doing a deck unboxing of the Harry Potter inspired tarot deck by Paper Delune on Etsy. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how this is all presented, how it arrives to you, what the cardstock is like, what some of the images are like as well, and I'm so excited to look at this deck. Like, I have been waiting for weeks, so I'm really excited to bring it forward to you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love sharing all my witchy stuff here with you on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss one of my videos. Also, check out my brand new podcast, Witch Talks, a suburban witchery podcast. It's out now on all of your usual podcasting apps. I'm really excited to bring that to you as well. Definitely check it out. Okay, so this amazing package arrived. It was brown paper and it didn't look like what you would expect a tarot deck to arrive as. It wasn't your typical tarot shape. Very excited nonetheless because I saw who it came from. So I ripped that open and inside is another box. Upon opening this box, we have some shredded paper that I presume is from the Harry Potter books. However, that would be quite blasphemous, and there's also not quite enough text for me to double check that. There's also a Hogwarts letter, so you have been accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, which just gives me such a thrill in my soul. We then also find a beautiful little bag, so a little tarot bag to hold them all together, and it's all wrapped up with a little tag that says Owl Post. How special. Now we get to the good stuff. So you can also see there's this beautiful packaging that is in the Marauders map print. And how it's coming in, I'm guessing so far that it doesn't come in a little box, especially with the fact that we get this little bag that comes with it as well. I've got shivers, guys. I have shivers. So this little guy, let's take a peek. Now you can actually buy this deck in two parts. You can buy just the majors or just the minors. I bought the whole thing because I'm obsessed, and why wouldn't I? It is pricey though. This is a pricey deck. I mean, this is Etsy, this is handmade, this is a small business owner, so I'm happy to support that sort of thing. And you know, it's about 175 bucks. That's a lot, right? It's a lot for a tarot deck. Let's have a look. I'm gonna pull out 1, 2, and you know I'm keeping this, right? This is not being thrown away. Here are the cards. Now, I can tell you straight away, they are glossy on at least one side. Yep, both sides are glossy, so that means they're probably gonna shuffle pretty well. The back of the cards is the Marauders map, which I'm totally fine with because I'm a big Marauders era fan. If you've watched any of my content on Instagram or TikTok, you might see that I'm slightly obsessed with something called ATYD, All the Young Dudes, which is a Marauders era fan fiction. It's fantastic. It's like the length of the Bible, and I read it in a week. I'm now rereading it currently, and I had the books professionally printed, even though it's a fan fiction, so it was a bit difficult to do, but we've done it. So very happy with the Marauders era stuff there. Now let's have a look. All right, so you can see here we have some black and white imagery. It doesn't look like there's any color, which is totally fine. I actually like that vibe. Now, most of these cards, they're not purely one image. They're kind of an amalgamation. You can see they've been digitally created. I really like the Strength card. Usually the Strength card, we have obviously the woman with her hand almost inside the lion's mouth. Now this one, we've got Nagini wrapped around Neville, and he's holding his sword of Gryffindor. So that is showing that his inner strength that he had to overcome to do that. And it's, you know, it's the same sort of vibes that we would get from that usual one with the animal and the human figure. So I'm going to make an assumption here that if we're referring to traditional imagery, it's really not going to be matching, okay? So this is not a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, all right? This is totally different. Yes, you've got the same types of cards, but the actual imagery is going to be totally different. So you're either going to want to use this just purely as an intuitive deck, or you're going to have a really good knowledge of those traditional cards, and then you'll be able to use it as normal. Oh, I love that Sirius is the Tower. And Remus says the werewolf is the moon. Oh, that couldn't get any better. And especially that the fact that they were just next to each other in this deck. I'm a big Wolfstar fan, which means I totally ship Remus and Sirius together. If you get me, you get me. If you don't, you might be like, what? But it's totally canon. Judgment, yep, okay, these are really cool, guys. These are really cool. One thing I do like is every single card has an image. There's not your, sometimes in other decks you might have the Four of Cups being 4 literal cups on a page and that's all you get. These all have images and they all are from the movies. Now we're gonna have a look at how they shuffle. All right, so I've put the 2 halves together because they came separately. They came like this, and that's a thick deck. That is quite thick to actually. Oh no, my small hands can't hold it. I can't actually wrap my hands around it. Okay, so this is gonna have to be a vertical shuffle, which is a little frustrating because the size of the cards is not big, right? They're not big. Now these look like they've just been printed, right? So they don't shuffle super well just yet. Look, I can probably shuffle them standard, but you just gotta be a little careful. Can't hold them all in one, and they're not really fitting together properly. Like I'm having to really force them back into order, and I think that's purely just the fact that they're brand new. It doesn't feel like particularly thick cardstock, right? So that's sort of what we're going with. It's not too thick, super glossy, so usually that would shuffle really well, but for some reason they're a bit sticky. So they might need some magician's powder, they might just need some playing with. Now let's have a look at how they spread. Yeah, they're still a bit chunky, and that's just because they're sticky. I honestly think that is just because they're hot off the press, but that's okay, that'll do. All right, let's have a look. Let's pull a random card. Let's pull this one. Page of Pentacles. So we've actually got similar imagery to the Rider-Waite Smith holding up something. Got Professor Trelawney there. Let's pull another one. Page of Cups. 10 of Wands. Okay, that's everyone holding up their wands at the end. That's beautiful. So really interesting. Oh, dropped one. 9 of Wands. Oh, cute. Old generation, new generation. I mean, it's not really the 9 of Wands standard meaning. That's not what I would get, but I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I think these will be really interesting to read with. So overall, this is a great deck if you're a Harry Potter fan. I think if you're not a fan, don't get this deck. The price point, it's pretty pricey. The cardstock is not too bad. As I said, I think the way that it's shuffling at the moment is just going to get better with time the more that you shuffle. Even now it feels less sticky, so I think that's just a printing thing and the fact that it's brand new. Now one other thing is the actual quality of the images on there. Like, it's not crystal clear, and I think part of that is just the fact that they can't use exact images from the screen. They kind of have to edit them quite a little bit to not get copyright issues. I'm guessing, that's my guess with it, and it doesn't flow super well. So some of them are going to look like just a drawing and some of them are kind of more clear images from the movies. It's a bit of a mashup, but I'm fine with that. Like, for me, that just keeps it a little bit interesting. But if you're someone that really needs everything to flow and look like it's all the same, then yeah, maybe you're not going to like that part. When I'm comparing as well the actual thickness of the card, I can feel that it's a lot thicker than my standard Rider-Waite Smith. You can't see it, but it is, I reckon, without my glasses on, it could be even like 3 times as thick. So this might be hard to see on there, but we can already see just with this little thin one, that's my Rider-Waite Smith. This is the Harry Potter one. That would be why it's so thick and so wide to hold the deck itself. Now, it doesn't come with a box, but as I said, we had that little bag there, so I'm going to pop that in and see how it feels. I like the idea of a tarot bag. It doesn't feel quite as protective for me. Like, I still feel like I might lose a card or two, but that's not too bad. And I reckon if I really tighten it and then tie it up, it's quite neat and tidy, hey? So overall, price point is high, fun factor is really high as well, so I think it's going to be a really great deck. Make sure to stay tuned for when I do a review of the deck as well, once I've had time to play with it. I hope you liked this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought, and keep an eye out for that podcast that I've released. I've got them on here on YouTube. There's also the audio on all of the podcast apps, so please have a listen. It is an absolute labor of love and I'm so excited about it. I'd love to know your thoughts. As always, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are today, and I'll chat with you next time. Bye for now.